Guys, my name is Andre. In this video, we're going to be covering the overnight continuation report on Edgeful.com. So let's get right into it. What is the overnight continuation? Now, what this measures, what this report looks at, is how often does the overnight session, being green or red, follow into the actual market open session. So before I get into exactly what that's measuring, this applies to Forex, crypto, and futures exactly. So if you're looking at Bitcoin or you're looking at Euro USD, it doesn't matter. This report is not available for stocks because there's not truly an overnight open session like the Globex. So if you're looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Euro USD, YM, or NQ, it doesn't matter. That's what this report will look at. So one very important piece is the session you have selected. This is going to completely change the data around what you're actually looking at. So here we're looking at YM in the last 6 months in the New York session. So in the New York session means within these blue boxes here. And the way to get access to these blue boxes, this is our TradingView indicator called the market sessions. And what you can see is off to the right, you can click on that TradingView button, put your TradingView username right in here. You can find your username at the top left, right over here. Mine is Edgeful, yours will be whatever it is. And then once you get access, once you click on that, you're gonna see in your indicators tab, right over here, invite only, all of our indicators. There's over 35 of them here. The one that we're looking at now is the market sessions. So let's use this day as an example. The overnight session, when you are looking at the New York session here, is from the previous New York session's close to this New York session's open. So you can see this overnight session is obviously green because it opened higher than, or it closed higher than it opened. And then you can see that this New York session was obviously red. So let me make this red quickly. So you can see there was a green overnight session and then a red actual session. Here's another example. From the close of the other New York session to the open of this session was green. And now this is very specific. I'm going to show you an example for the London session in a second, but this is very specific to the New York session. So when you're looking at any of them, whether it's Asia, whether it's London, it's always from the close of the previous one to the open of this one is the overnight. It doesn't matter how far, how long, it's always from the close to the open. And then you can see here, this session here was green. So this would count as a green overnight, green day. This one counts as a green overnight, red day. This one counts here as a red overnight. And then a red day. So here are like a bunch of different examples. Green overnight, green day. Green overnight, red day. Red overnight, red day here again. So now let me clean this up, and then we're going to go to the settings of my indicator by double-clicking over here, and I'm going to turn on the London session. So now, if you're trading the London session, let's change that. If you're trading the London session now, you need to know what you're looking at. So in this case, we are looking from the close of the London session to the open of the following London session, which is obviously in this case, this one is green. And then you can see, again, this session ended up green. So this is a green overnight session and a green actual session itself. And let me make sure, this is really important. Great live example of understanding, of making sure to remember to update your settings. So in this case, this actually happened to be a red day here. And I had my London session set to exclude the overlap of London and New York. This overlap right here. I had that because I was looking at something else before. But you need to always remember that TradingView and Edgeful are not connected. So here our London session is from 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. If you don't actively change this time here, it is not going to change for you. You have to remember to change the sessions here. So this example is actually a green overnight and a red session. Here's an example of a red overnight and then a red session. Obviously, this is a pretty clean move down. So I just wanted to show you guys those examples of how you can really spot it. And then this would be right here, or actually it would be right there. So this is how you would plot it out. It's no matter what session you're looking at, it's always from the close of one to the open of the next is the overnight session. Even if you create a custom session that's 1 hour long, it doesn't matter. It's from the close of the previous one to the open of this one, and then the direction, whether it's facing upwards or downwards, is going to determine red or green. So that's the important piece. Now, how can you use this in your actual trading? So now if we're looking at YM, and by the way, every single instrument is going to have different results, but you're looking at YM here in the last 6 months in the London session, 55% of the time when the overnight's green, the day is actually going to close green. So there is some correlation between the overnight and the actual day. And this is not something you're obviously going to go all in on at the market open saying, hey, everything is going to be green today. This is something that you can add as confluence to say, you know what, the overnight session was bullish. I can add this as confluence for a bullish bias as I see other things set up. This is helping me build and determine a bias that is obviously bullish in this case if the overnight session was green. Now, in this case, we also have this by weekday. So this is another very important piece, is to always look at the by weekday variance, because they could have pretty drastically different results. So let's go to the New York session here. Let's look at this. So let's look at that. So in this case, if from Friday's close to Monday's open is red, 73% of the time in the last 6 months for YM, that Monday has been red. Or sorry, that Monday has been green. So if there is if there is a gap down on Monday, the day has very likely closed green. Now you can see, for example, Thursdays, if from Wednesday's close, let's just try to find an example here. So what is this? Thursday, red overnight candle. Thursday, red overnight candle. Okay, here's an example. Probably not the cleanest one, but you can see obviously a red overnight candle. And then this was actually very slightly a red day. This is probably not the best example. I'll try to find another one. Let's go to a couple of weeks before. Okay. So we're looking, this is a great visual example. Red overnight candle on Thursday. So now we're looking from Wednesday's close to Thursday's open. That is very obviously red. And then you can see 82% of those days have ended up on Thursday being red. So this is a very clean, very easy example to see. And you can see this was a red day, obviously, with a red overnight session on Thursday. So you can really extract the edge when you go by weekday, when you look at these sub-reports here. These are really important. If you're just going to stick to the standard report, that's totally fine. But as you can very obviously see, you should not be trading every weekday the same. So Mondays with a red overnight session behave practically the opposite as a red overnight candle on Thursdays. So you can see all the actual breakdown of the results here. The video you're watching is right here. And then there are some explainer graphs over here. If this video was helpful to you, please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our support. Appreciate you guys. Hope you have a good one.